The internet can be an. Can you hear me? Hello. You know, the internet can be an ugly place. And people have often complained that they don't want to go on stock twits anymore. They don't want to come anywhere on the internet sometimes because it's become so nasty. And, it's so easy to rip someone's head off online and be nasty to them. And people complain about this all the time. Well, the answer is to start with yourself. When you go online, conduct yourself with dignity. This is we know more and more that anything that you put out in the public sphere can be referred to and is like never gone and never erased. So, with that in mind, conduct yourself and with respect, self-respect, and respect for people around you when you're talking online. If you're on stock twits, I know you can get away with being ugly to people when you're anonymous or when they can't react to you in person, and when you're shielded by your computer or because of the format that is like Twitter or some other written type text sort of format. But remember that this stuff can stay there forever, for one thing. And for another thing, your reputation online is going to become more and more important as we move forward. I firmly believe that where resumes were once what employers looked at, more and more they're going to be looking at your footprint online. So, everybody needs to make a living somehow. And even if you're, a famous actor or something, you still need to make a living somehow. So, be kind to people around you. You never know what sort of situation somebody else is going through. And you never know if they've had something bad happen to them or their family or something tragic has happened to them. You never know what their actual situation is. So be kind to people. Give people the benefit of the doubt. If somebody is nasty to you, don't try to always one-up them. Every disagreement is not doesn't need to be won by you. It's not about winning more as it's about trying to communicate with people. Try to understand what other people are telling you. And try to listen to what other people say. That way you can learn something. Going online and just preaching to people the same thing over and over and not listening to anything anyone says, that doesn't serve you any good. It doesn't serve anyone else any good. So think about it. Imagine, I like to use, I know it sounds like a sort of a stereotype or something, but imagine your grandmother were in the room when you say something online, and would she approve of what you're saying? Also, try to think of things in this light. Don't say something about someone that you wouldn't say directly to their face if they were standing in front of you, because that's essentially what they are doing when they're on their computer looking at what you write. Is they are in front of you, and just because you're shielded by some wires doesn't give you reason to be rude, to be disrespectful, and to not treat people with dignity. Also, you don't know who you're talking to online. You could be talking to a psycho killer that just got out of jail, or you could be talking to a CEO of a company who has millions of dollars, or a trader who has millions of dollars. And when you're acting nasty to these people, you wouldn't do that if you knew who you were actually talking to. So assume when you're talking online that you're talking to important people, and assume that everything is going to be recorded and that you're going to be judged by what you say. everybody loves how about this? It's much easier to say no to anything anyone says online and to dispute it and to point out why they're wrong. That's easy. So next time, before you point out why someone did something wrong, or before you type a negative tweet in, think about it. Am I taking the easy way, just ripping on someone, or should I take the way that's going to make me grow a little bit more and actually think about what that other person is saying and see if I can actually communicate with them in a way that that I show them respect and that we can both learn something from the encounter. It's just something to think about. I know people go online a lot of times and they're very casual with the way they interact, and they're not thinking about what they're doing. This can come back and bite you in the ass, so to speak. So be respectful to people. Try to learn from them. And, just if everybody who sees this pauses one time and doesn't send that nasty tweet or that nasty note back to somebody, even if the other person you know is wrong on something, you're not going to teach them by just saying they're wrong. I guarantee, going in there, if, the VIX goes up and you go in there and say, ha, you shorts, you're all, you're idiots, or the VIX goes down and you say, you longs, I told you so, you should have listened to me. Most people aren't going to listen to what other people say online in a stock forum or something. And there's 1,000 voices speaking 1,000 different ways. So to come on and say, oh, well, everybody should have listened to me last week. Well, I would challenge you that would you listen to other people? If you wouldn't listen to what some other random person you'd never met before had said, then you shouldn't expect other people to listen to what you had said. So anyway, be kind to people, be cool, and we can change this environment online to actually be a really much greater thing than it already is by just a little bit of respect for people around you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.